Hello, 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 and welcome once again to Movies That Pop. I'm the Colonel. Let's see what popped up in theaters this week. Jason Bourne, who single-handedly forced James Bond to start taking himself more seriously, is back in action after 9 long years off. And I gotta tell you, while Matt Damon has clearly emerged from the hiatus, none the worse for wear, the same can't be said of the franchise. All of the necessary elements are here to make what could have been the best entry in the series, but some clunky storytelling and an insistence on maintaining the same old status quo results in a movie that delivers the bone-crunching, action-packed thrills you came for, but does nothing to move the story, the characters, or the franchise forward in any meaningful way. That's it for the capsule review. Let's get in depth. I'm just gonna be honest here. The Bourne films, they're just not very good, well-rounded movies. There, I said it. Jason Bourne is a great action hero, don't get me wrong, and he's played to perfection by Matt Damon, and it has become his signature role. But ever since the first film introduced his character, Bourne and the franchise in general have been in a constant state of inertia. All of the films unfold in just about the same way, using the same archetypes. The shady government guy pulling all the strings, the team of flunkies yelling at computer monitors in some government basement, the one main bad guy assassin, the female who helps him out. They're essentially the same movie time and time again. The only thing that really separates these movies and the franchise's saving grace has been the action scenes. Paul Greengrass, who has directed all but the first of the Matt Damon films, knows how to shoot visceral, chaotic, brutal action incredibly well. But the story that strings those action sequences together, it's the same thing over and over. Jason Bourne is being chased, he evades capture, finds out some new piece of information, and disappears into the mist again while a movie song cranks up on the soundtrack. When compared to the original Robert Ludlum novels from which the first 3 movies took their names but very little else, the difference is night and day. Released during the Cold War paranoia of the 1980s, sure, they're dated now, but they had one central villain that hung like a shadow over Jason Bourne, like Sherlock Holmes's Moriarty, another international terrorist assassin named Carlos the Jackal, and the US government actually helped out Bourne after they realized he hadn't gone rogue after all, and Bourne ended up working in concert with the US towards the common good. Now that's the books. However, since the very first of the filmed adaptation, Bourne's primary adversary has always been the United States government. Each and every time, the entire US intelligence community is depicted as irredeemably evil, bent on killing Bourne at all costs. We're not talking about a few bad apples slipping in there. I mean, from the get-go, these guys, starting with Chris Cooper and Brian Cox in the first one, all the way through Strathairn and Finney, and now Tommy Lee Jones, nobody has any foresight, complexity, or pragmatism. They're just a bunch of mustache-twirling cowboys with no nuance whatsoever, and to be honest, it's getting a little tiresome, okay? And it looks like, at least on the outset, that the filmmakers agree with me. Why else would they try to cram in a parallel storyline about something completely independent of Jason Bourne's storyline, involving some sort of internet company with a social media platform launched that's gonna be a sneaky government surveillance tool? Sure, that storyline doesn't work, and occasionally turns the film into the darkest episode of Silicon Valley ever made, but at least they took a crack at something new. Also a breath of fresh air, the lovely and talented Alicia Vikander, everyone. Once again, she proves compelling as a CIA agent with a good head on her shoulders who actually has the idea of bringing Bourne in alive and trying to get him to be an ally again. You know, if you can't beat him, join him. And it seems like we actually might be steering this franchise back into fresh territory until, they just couldn't resist. The story and the themes swing back into maintaining the status quo, and we're right back in a big, dumb, cynical action movie where the US government is the bad guys, and where Bourne is great and everyone else sucks. The end. Cue up the movie song. Which is a shame because, as I mentioned before, all of the elements are there to make this the best Bourne yet. Tommy Lee Jones is easily the most evil and compelling of the big bad bureaucrats that this series has provided us with. Vincent Cassel oozes slick malevolence as the token all-star assassin that gives Bourne a run for his money. But you know what the filmmakers haven't given us a surrogate version of yet? Franca Potente. That's right, Marie from the first movie. We get a big bad bureaucrat every time, a new helpful female CIA agent every time, a new slick hitman every time, but they never recreated the every-woman character, the one that grounded Bourne, gave him heart, and added emotional stakes to those exciting chase scenes. And this outing certainly does not scrimp on those chase scenes here, which are still the franchise's primary selling point, including a major opening set piece during a Greek riot and a thunderously entertaining Las Vegas blowout of a finale that had audiences on the edge of their seats, and demonstrates that neither Damon nor Greengrass have lost their edge in the 9 years between Bourne pictures. It's for the action alone that I award Jason Bourne a medium bag of popcorn. If you like the previous Bourne films for what they were, great action scenes,